Dreams do come true, and it's finally time. There's history in the making. I am looking forward to winning the title and making a lot of people see that it can be done. I would love for the fight to be in London. It would be great for it to be in the UK, anywhere in the UK. Manchester or Scotland would be a great place to have this. To be honest, I have been working for this for a long time and I would take it anywhere, but London would be great. It's good, not if I beat David back to a world title just because of what he put me through. Coming to England and fighting on his card, that was great, and I can't argue with that because he opened me up to a much bigger fan base. But David's word upset me. Here I am fighting for a world title and he's fighting a cruiserweight Tony Bellew, and there's a possibility he may get beat. And even if he doesn't, eventually he will have to come to the champ, because once I knock a kendo out, he's going to want a shot at me. Those are the words of Shannon Briggs, aka the champ, aka the cannon, aka Let's Go Champ. He says that he would like his scheduled WBA regular world heavyweight title fight against Fraser Kendo to be in the UK. A lot of people are now saying that the UK is the home of boxing. I kind of disagree with that, but I do think it's the home of heavyweight boxing currently, and it may turn out to be the home of boxing in general, but it's certainly the home of heavyweight boxing. And Shannon Briggs, being a heavyweight, he understands that. He saw the reception that he got when he was in the UK from the general public, and he was blown away because he don't get that kind of reception walking around in the United States. The United States is a much bigger country. The fan base for boxing in the United States is much more fractured. Because the UK is a smaller country, the ability, and it's a small country with a large population for its size. The UK is roughly the same size geographically as the state of Florida, but the state of Florida only has a fraction of the population of the United Kingdom. United Kingdom population is very big, or pretty damn big for the size of the actual land. And because of that, a large amount of people in a small area of land with not too many different, television networks and what have you, it allows you to promote across a very large audience more easily than it would be somewhere like somewhere in the United States, where the population is spread out over a very, very large area of land geographically. Okay, so the kind of things that people, the kind of fighters that people might be aware of in New York, for example, people on the West Coast or people down south may not be aware of those fighters because the country is so big. And yeah, a fighter may be well known locally, but he can go to the rest of the country and nobody knows him because they watch different television, their press, their local press is different, so on and so forth. In the UK, if a fighter is famous in London, he's pretty much going to be famous nationwide. That's just the way it goes. Even if a fighter is famous in Manchester or wherever, he's probably going to be famous nationwide. So yeah, anyway, without getting sidetracked and digressing too much, back to the topic at hand, to the point at hand. Shannon Briggs wants to fight in the UK. He's not going to sell out a phone box, probably, fighting Fraser Kendo in the United States. They're talking about having that fight in a Hard Rock Cafe. All right. If it was in the UK, could it headline? It certainly couldn't headline pay-per-view. But if Shannon Briggs hooked up with Eddie Hearn, he could probably have a headline show maybe at something like the York Hall. He might be able to do that. I don't think Briggs by himself would sell that many tickets. But Briggs, in conjunction with a David Hayer and Anthony Joshua fighting on one of their undercards, that could sell and that could do good enough. Maybe they could have it as a double header. Briggs versus a kendo with Anthony Joshua top of the bill, or doesn't even necessarily have to be a heavyweight, but I think it would help if it was a heavyweight. It could be Kell Brook top of the bill maybe, and Shannon Briggs on the undercard. Something like that I think could sell, and that might be something that Eddie Hearn may want to look at, or maybe one of the other UK promoters might want to look at it. Maybe Frank Warren. I know Frank Warren has been very dismissive of Shannon Briggs continuing his professional boxing career, but he is kind of hypocritical because he tried to get Shannon Briggs as an opponent for Hughie Fury, and then later on he said that it's a disgrace that Shannon Briggs is even still boxing and he'll never get a British license, which he's obviously disproved because he fought in the UK on David Hayes' undercard. So it is what it is. Let me know what you feel about this, people. Shannon Briggs versus Fraser Kendo. Briggs is after the money at the end of the day. He's trying to maximize his income from this fight. In the US, he's unlikely to make much. Neither him or Fraser Kendo are big names in American boxing or American sport in general. In the UK, maybe Shannon Briggs would earn more money, and therefore that's what he's trying to do here. It would be strange because neither fighter is British and it's a world title fight. So that's kind of a slightly unusual situation if it was to take place in the UK. But hey, as long as people want to see it, then it will happen, or it could happen. So let me know what you feel in the comment section below. It's happening. I'm out.